day, nearly 4 dozen are walked off in cuffs and taken to jail. Feds say all are members or associates of a South Los Angeles gang called the Pueblo Bishop Bloods. This is their home turf, the Pueblo del Rio housing project.
Imagine your neighborhood is like a big puzzle, with each gang being a piece of that puzzle. In South Los Angeles, there are many different gangs, each with its own story and area, kind of like having their own clubhouse. Some of these gangs include the Rollin 20s Outlaw Bloods, Rollin 30s Blood Stone Pirus, and the Mad Swan Bloods, among others. They each have their own colors, signs, and friends, but sometimes they don't get along with each other, which can lead to problems.
Y'all up and down this block, and we in the middle of y'all smoking. AFC, Trump.
Trans blood, skate blood, trans, hey, killer, straight up, Dorsey block blood. This is our shit. Get a clue of this. They go to Cushman. Look at his ass walking. Look at Larry. He got fire though, blood on east side crime.
The All for Crime Bloods, also known as the A Gang, are a prominent African-American blood gang located in the east side of South Los Angeles, California. This gang shares parts of its neighborhood with the 38th Street Gang and has familial connections to the Rollin 40s Pirus, illustrating the complex web of alliances and rivalries within gang territories. Their area extends from Ascot Street to Compton Boulevard, between 41st Street and Vernon Avenue, which they consider the core of their territory. Members often wear Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim caps to signify their affiliation through the prominent logo, representing All for Crime. The gang's main cliques include 41st Street, 42nd Street, and Dorsey Street, positioning them in close proximity and often in conflict with neighboring Crip factions such as the 4 Juice Gangster Crips, 4 Trey Gangster Crips, 48 Gangster Crips, and the 5 Trey Avalon Gangster Crips. Formed around 2003, the All for Crime Bloods emerged in a territory that was once under the influence of the Rollin 40s Pirus. Over time, as the Rollin 40s Pirus' presence waned, the younger generation in the area began to adopt the All for Crime Bloods identity, making it the predominant gang representation in the area. Despite the historical presence of the Rollin 40s Pirus, the All for Crime Bloods has managed to establish its own distinct identity and control within South Los Angeles. The Rollin 20s Outlaw Bloods, also known as the East Side Rollin 20s Outlaw Bloods, are a group that has made a significant mark on the east side of South LA. They're part of a larger story that includes many groups, each with their own history and impact on the area. Although they share a name and are both part of the Bloods network, they're actually different groups with their territories and stories. The Outlaw 20s neighborhood runs from 20th Street to Jefferson Boulevard, nestled between Main Street and Central Ave, a place they share with the East Side Trees, a rival group. But it's not all about rivalry. The Rollin 20s Outlaw Bloods have alliances too, like with the Blood Stone Pirus and even the Rollin 20s neighborhood Bloods themselves.
By the end of the day, nearly 4 dozen are walked off in cuffs and taken to jail. Feds say all are members or associates of a South Los Angeles gang called the Pueblo Bishop Bloods. This is their home turf, the Pueblo del Rio housing project. And in this 88-page federal racketeering indictment, agents say the gang is involved in drug trafficking, gun trafficking, armed robbery, extortion, assaults, intimidating witnesses, and murders.
Listen, blood, when it comes to this blood, ain't no way in hell the B or the P should be for sale, blood. It's never happened before.
Yeah, Blood's outside.
The Pueblo Bishop Bloods, also known as PBB, are a significant African-American street gang based in the Pueblo del Rio housing projects in South Los Angeles, an area often referred to as the Low Bottoms. The gang's origin traces back to 1972 when it was founded by Bobby Lavender following the death of his friend Skip, who was killed by a rival Crip gang. Over the years, the Pueblo Bishop Bloods have evolved from a street gang into a more organized group, now boasting over 300 active members. They have a reputation for using intimidation and violence to maintain control over their territory and against rival gangs. The Pueblo Bishops consist of two main cliques, the 5 Deuce Pueblo Bishops and the 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods. The 52 Pueblo Bishops, also known as the East Side Low Bottoms or Low Bottoms 50s, operate within the Pueblo housing projects on 52nd Street, covering the area from 50th to 59th Streets. On the other hand, the 92 Pueblo Bishops, or 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods, are located further south, from 92nd Street to Firestone Boulevard, between Graham Avenue and Elm Street. This geographical span from the 50s to the Dubs, referring to the 92 Bishop Bloods, showcases the extensive reach of the Pueblo Bishops within South Los Angeles. The Pueblo Bishop Bloods have formed alliances and truces with other gangs, most notably the Bebop Watts Bloods, creating the Bebop Watts Bishop Bloods Alliance. They also have a truce with the Avalon Gangster Crips, sharing a common enemy in the Blood Stone Villains. This alliance, however, has stirred animosity among other blood gangs in the area. The Blood Stone Pirus, also known as the Rollin 30s Blood Stone Pirus, is an African-American street gang based on the east side of South Los Angeles, California. Originating in the 1970s around Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, between Avalon Boulevard and Central Avenue, the BSB has been active for over 4 decades, despite their Piru affiliation, marking them as one of the few Pirus claiming gangs outside of Compton. The Blood Stone Pirus align with the larger Blood Alliance, sharing connections with various Pirus and blood sets across Los Angeles County. This network includes not only the Blood Stone Villains, but also other blood-affiliated gangs like the Rollin 40s Pirus, Rolling 20s Neighborhood Bloods, and the Outlaw 20s Bloods. The Rolling 40s Pirus, based on the west side of South Los Angeles, California, are known for their significant history and influence within the area. They share territory with the All for Crime Bloods, a newer generation gang considered a sequel to the Rolling 40s Pirus. This group was one of the pioneering blood gangs to represent the Piru name outside of Compton, alongside other notable sets such as Avenue Piru Gang, Rolling 30s Blood Stone Pirus, Neighborhood Pirus, Skyline Pirus, and West Side Pirus in Cosson. Their territory overlaps with that of the 38th Street Gang, a major Mexican-American gang primarily in conflict with the 18th Street Gang. The Rolling 40s Pirus maintain close alliances with the Rolling 30s Pirus and the Outlaw 20s Bloods, collectively known as the Rolling Zeros. Historically, the Rolling 40s Pirus have been active for over 3 decades and were particularly notorious from the 1970s through the early 1990s for various criminal activities, including drug trafficking and violent crimes. The All for Crime Bloods emerged around 2003 and established their presence in what was once considered Rolling 40s Piru territory. This younger generation has somewhat overshadowed the Rolling 40s Pirus identity in recent years, although some members of the older gang still reside in the area. The relationship between the Bloods in this region and the Barrio 38th Street has evolved from a long-standing shared territory to a rivalry over the past decade.
Blood won't cheat from the west to the east side, so
I'm the gang. He his own man, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm the gang.
Gang, no man. Niggas ain't villains, we killers. We gotta flick it up.
The Blood Stone Villains, BSV, primarily located on the east side of South Los Angeles, have a deep-rooted history dating back to the 1970s. Originating on 56th Street, their territory extends from 50th Street to Slauson Avenue, centering around Hooper Avenue. This gang is known for its long-standing presence and influence in the area, marked by various alliances and rivalries that have shaped its history. Initially, the Bloodstone Villains had a close alliance with the Pueblo Bishops, with both gangs participating in social activities and tagging their unity with graffiti symbols like PBSV, Pueblo's Bloodstone Villains, or BSVPB, Bloodstone Villains Pueblo's Bishops. However, this alliance took a turn for the worse in the late 90s following a tragic incident where a member of the Pueblo Bishops was alleged to have killed a member of the Bloodstone Villains. This incident sparked a bitter feud between the two gangs, which continues to this day. Despite their past as allies, the relationship has deteriorated significantly, leading to ongoing tensions and violence. The Bloodstone Villains have also established alliances with other Blood Street gangs, including the Blood Stone Pirus, Bounty Hunters, and Denver Lane Bloods, showcasing their connections within the larger Blood gang network. These alliances are crucial for their survival and dominance in an area surrounded by rival Crip factions. The gang structure includes two main cliques, 52nd and 56th Streets, with new cliques emerging over the years.
Got the little homie down for murder cause they say he ain't using the gloves. And if I catch you slipping in my hood, I'ma blow the brains out the back of your head and leave them on the curb. That's what happened when you with the birds. I pack out your eyes with my chrome 45.
The Family Swan Bloods is a significant alliance between two prominent African-American street gangs in South Los Angeles, the Mad Swan Bloods and the neighborhood Family Bloods. This partnership was forged as a strategic response to the encroachment and numerical superiority of rival Crip gangs in their territory, which extends from Florence Avenue to 92nd Street along Central Avenue. The area is bounded by various Crip sets, including the Hard Time Hustlers, 84 Main Street Crips, 87 Gangster Crips, and the 88 Avalon Garden Crips to the east, and the East Coast Crips and Kitchen Crips to the west. Despite the pressure from surrounding Crip factions, the Family Swan Bloods have managed to maintain control over their territory for over 3 decades, showcasing their resilience and organizational strength. Their influence extends beyond Los Angeles, with the Family Swan Nation representing their alliance across several states in the USA, including Virginia, Arizona, Southeast Aurora, Texas, and New York. The FSB's territory, known as Florence, is a testament to their long-standing presence in the area since the 1970s. The alliance, marked by the wearing of red, their gang color, encompasses the Mad Swans, located from 77th Street North to 84th Street South, and the 88 by 92 families from 89th Street North to 92nd Street South. Despite the presence of some Latino gangs within their vicinity, such as the Florencia 13, the Family Swans have managed to coexist with minimal serious altercations. The alliance is not only a testament to the gang's survival instincts amidst a hostile environment filled with rival gangs, but also to their ability to expand their influence beyond their local origins to other parts of the United States. This expansion demonstrates the adaptability and enduring nature of the Family Swan Bloods alliance.
It's not just you. It's a couple more pussies.
TC or something. You see it?
The Mad Swan Bloods, also known as the Bird Gang, are a well-established African-American street gang located on the east side of South Los Angeles, originating in the early 1970s as the Main Street Swans. The gang has grown to include subsets such as the 77th Street, 79th Street, 80th Street, and 84th Street Swans. They are situated in a highly contested area, bordered by various grip gangs, yet have managed to maintain control over their territory for over 3 decades. The Mad Swan Bloods were significantly impacted by the gang-related death of Derek Pooh Bear Young, a respected member of the gang, in 1988. This tragic event inspired the documentary Dead Homies by Billy Wright, which explores the consequences of gang violence. The gang has formed alliances with other blood sets, such as the neighborhood Family Bloods, leading to the formation of the Family Swan Bloods or Neighborhood Family Swan Bloods. This alliance is part of a larger family alliance which includes other groups like the Inglewood Family Gang and Sentinel Park Family. Despite the pressure from surrounding Crip gangs, the Mad Swan Bloods and their allies have successfully retained their influence in South Los Angeles. All these gangs in South Los Angeles are like teams, each with their own area, friends, and challenges. It's important to remember that every gang story is part of the bigger picture of the neighborhood. Understanding why these gangs exist and how they interact with each other can help us think about ways to make neighborhoods safer and more united for everyone.